Today is the 25th of January, 2011. Just saying that tells you something about the Western conception of time itself. In our view of things, the 25th of January, 2011 has never happened before and will never happen again. Or at least we tell ourselves that time moves from the past through the present into the future. It's a line. It's a fairly straight line as well. Well, the dials on our clocks are round. It's 6:45 in the morning right now. It'll be 6:45 in the evening, 12 hours from now. And it'll be 6:45 in the morning, 24 hours from now. Ad infinitum. It's also 2011 AD or CE. It was once 2011 BC or BCE. So we believe that time actually moves in two directions at once, into the past, which is constantly being updated, and into the future, which is, in a sense, constantly being updated. So do we actually believe in our own conception of time? Do we actually think that our view of it is accurate? I'm not so sure that we do, but it is an interesting exercise to look at what we actually think of time. It starts to look more and more arbitrary the more you look at it. We have these things called months, which are just based on the moon. We have these things called weeks, which are based upon the moon and the reproductive cycle of the human female. And these things are all, shall we say, terracentric. They're just biases that we've imposed upon something as seemingly universal as time. The East, of course, believes that time is a wheel. The Buddhists and Jains believe that the wheel of existence never actually started to run, and it will never stop. It just is. Now, what must that do to one's conception of reality, time, the present, the past, even the transmigration of souls, everything, history even? Even as the Hindu might believe that yesterday might be a little bit different from today, at the same time he's also conscious of the fact that that's an illusion, and that even as the days repeat themselves, universes do. This universe that we live in now has been is a reconstruction or a rebirth of an infinite number of universes that go back to, I was going to say the dawn of time, but there is no dawn of time. And it goes on forever. In other words, nothing that has happened has not happened before, and nothing can happen that has not happened before. But an infinite number of possibilities can happen, but they've all been encapsulated in the entirety of time. Tends to make one's head swim, but it is that way with most foreign or alien ideas. We're so biased in our own way of looking at things that we don't really understand, or we have a hard time understanding or reconciling competing views. Now, the reason why I bring this into a discussion on atheism is one of the great attacks of atheism, or I should say a religion, or the sort of atheism, the Dawkinsian or Hitchinsian sort of atheism that seeks to disprove religion, is to go after their holy books and see whether or not they're accurate. Did all that stuff that allegedly went on in there actually happen? The great one is evolution, that for some bizarre reason that I can't quite get my head around, theists have decided to dig their heels in on this issue, and a lot of them just to the exclusion of everything else in their religion. Evolution never happened. Well, if you believe in time as a wheel, it doesn't really matter if evolution never happened, because there was no point where God created the universe. The Hindus do have a creator God, but he's certainly not an interfering creator God. He just sort of wound the clock up and walked away. You know, the watchmaker. And also, what would this do to one's conception of history? India is remarkable in that of most civilizations, it is the one that is the least interested in history as such. They prefer to take, say, 100 or 1,000 battles that have been fought in their past and roll them all together into a gigantic, titanic battle, Kurukshetra, between two opposing armies. And in much the same way as, say, the ancient Greeks tended to take one small episode in human history, the Trojan War, and make that into a symbol or a simile or a morality play for all human conflict ever. And again, you can go back and try and disprove Hindu mythology to find out whether or not there really was a Lord Rama, or if there was a Krishna and an Arjuna, or any of this stuff. But to a Hindu, again, it doesn't even matter, because these things are happening right now. And they will happen again, and in fact they happen an infinite number of times, to the point where the distinction between past, present, and future is hopelessly blurred. So again, you can't even go at them that way to find out whether or not any historical claims that they have made are true or not, and you have to put historical claims and true in quotation marks. It's impossible to grab onto what it is that they're, at least from the Western point of view, their entire view of their cosmology and time and space and everything. It's an interesting and competing way to look at life, the universe, and everything. And again, it is inextricable from the concept of Maya and samsara and karma. When the universe and time are so vast as to fly off any possible scale, i.e. they're infinite, what does that say about human existence and time? The universe just is. Past, present, future, they just melt away into nothingness. Thank you.